But I feel like, though, our whole motto is if you're not having fun, you're doing the wrong thing. Sure. It's and people don't realize, like, it's a very stressful job. Yeah. We deal with a lot of people. Mm-hmm. These are the biggest investments of their life. Mm-hmm. So the pressure's on yourself.
Yep.
Pressure, it's intense. So when we can make it fun, we 100% do. Yeah. So that's why you see us in our social media with
you guys are crushing it. Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day. I mean, we wear the craziest stuff, and people are like, what are you guys doing?
Today we have Maura Cagney Tipton and Patrick Cagney of the Cagney Group, brokered by Coldwell Banker Realty. Maura has been selling real estate since 2002 and Patrick since 2005. The Cagney Group dates back 45 years though, as Maura and Patrick's father Guy has been licensed since 1977. The team closed 156 units and nearly $44 million in sales volume in 2024, taking 108 listings. The Cagney Group has been a member of Coldwell Banker's International President's Elite Team every year since 2017. And in 2024, they were the number 4 medium team in units sold in Ohio for Coldwell Banker Realty. Welcome to the show, Maura and Patrick of the Cagney Group.
How you doing?
Man, it's a lot.
Yeah.
You guys are crushing it, man. Well, welcome to the show, guys. We appreciate you jumping on with us. I think we met. I didn't meet Maura right away, but I sat down with your dad and you, Pat, years ago. And it's always been a group that I've been attracted to just because your name has been around real estate for so long, and it's been really cool. Like you're one of the interviews that I did that I was very intimidated. There's a few people that intimidate me when I think of like, I'm going to sit down with this real estate team or this group or whatever. And I was like, I'm going to meet the Cagneys today, man. I'm really nervous about this one. I'm like, I hope they don't tell me to get out of the office. This is dumb or whatever. But you guys are just great human beings, and the family dynamic behind the real estate business that you guys run is just superb. So, yeah, congratulations on everything you guys have done so far. So, yeah. Sorry, I always throw in my quick tidbit from meeting everybody when we start. So, yeah.
Well, let's get to know you guys. I don't know who wants to go first, but you can kind of just tell us a little bit about yourselves and about your families, and just take it away.
Go ahead, Maura.
A little bit about myself. Been in the business 20-something years.
You lose count, right?
I know, a while. Started when I was 19, actually. So I am married to Rob. I have 3 kids as well, 2 girls and 1 boy, and a little French bulldog.
That's awesome.
So that's my family dynamic. Patrick?
Yeah, so I'm married to Renee. She is my backbone. We have Liam, who's 9, and then Izzy and Emma. We're a Brady Bunch family, so didn't get married till I was 40 years old. And then we're crazy dog people, so we have 3 dogs. Just got a puppy at Christmas, and Rocco is crazy.
That's awesome. That is fantastic.
Yes.
That's so fun. So, I mean, obviously there's a really cool family dynamic happening here with you guys. And, I'd love to just hear, growing up and seeing your dad and what he was doing, and then what kind of drew you to want to join him in that, and just talk about that a little bit.
Honestly, I think they should have made a reality show about us growing up real estate, because
we were just talking about it yesterday, how like he was so involved in honestly a lot of development throughout the area. Mm-hmm. So we remember since we were little, like throwing our boots on, walking through the mud as he's looking at land, and like walking through new construction, the smell of wood.
Good stuff.
So way back we were involved with him. He'd be driving around in his caddy. Everyone knew his car. And like, remember the first phone he got?
Yes.
It was like, oh my gosh, he has this phone that can go in his car.
Is it on like the floorboard of the car?
Yes.
Oh, I love those phones.
Yes.
Those are the best.
Yep. So that's like the way back.
Mm-hmm.
So he was with a couple brokerages, and then he decided to start his own. So a lot of people don't know it used to run out of our house when they first started.
So it was really growing up real estate. Like our front door was always open.
We
and
answered the phone sometimes for 'em.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's wild.
Yep, his assistant would be there running around.
They left the front door unlocked.
A dining room table.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was our childhood. Just, we were always involved. We talk about houses. Maura, why do you like that house? Do you know what kind of house that is?
Yep.
And just always in our conversation. And I feel like we just always had a love for it.
Yeah.
So it was like even though we both may have not chosen it initially, I'd be kind of cool to do that.
Yeah. I was in college, and I think one of the best days ever of my life was when my dad was like, "You just want to get your real estate license?" And I was like, yes I do. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I went to Cincinnati State, got my license from them, took all my classes, actually have a degree in real estate from there. So
Cool. That's
Yeah.
Yep.
cool.
And I was actually at Eastern Kentucky, and a lot of people do know, some don't. Like, I had my daughter very early, so I was 19, and I was still at the point where I'm like, what do I want to do? And he's like, have you ever thought about real estate? And I'm like, I haven't, but let me think about it. And it was like, once I decided, I was seven months pregnant in real estate school. It was like,
wow.
yeah, I'm going to do that. So that was interesting.
With your first child.
Yeah, with my first child. And then I had her, and then it was like go time.
Yeah.
So what we like to tell people is, when we first started in real estate, I think like literally the best thing that could have ever happened for the two of us is my dad's not the type to like hand things out to us. We had to work for
You had to earn it.
everything.
That's fantastic.
I mean, that goes with everything in life.
Yep.
Like, if I wanted something, he's like, here's an envelope. I'll get it. However, you have this long to figure out how to pay me back. So I would slowly put money into the envelope. So we've just never been given things.
Yeah.
Right. and I call it like we did real estate boot camp for a year.
We did.
And for the first year we were licensed, we went on every listing appointment with him, went to show houses with him. We did the grunt work too. We put signs up, we held open houses, but at the same time you were learning from one of the best in the game. Just a year of
And we
shadowing.
didn't say anything on these appointments.
No.
We just listened and like absorbed everything he had to say. And it was just like, I would have never thought to say that. Oh, okay. That, like, it would just make things click. But and that's what we say. Like, I don't know how agents just go straight out into the business, because
it's tough.
It's
hard.
lot
Yeah.
to learn. And there is so much strategy in real estate. Like, you have to be a good salesperson. You have to know what you're doing.
And you also got to learn how to price things.
Yeah.
You got to learn how to help your buyers with pricing too when they're putting an offer in.
It seems like it falls back to like real estate school, and I'm not going to bash any real estate school, but from everything that I've heard is they teach you the law and that's it.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
the sales aspect, the the grunt work, all of that stuff you have to learn on your own,
Right.
or with a mentor. Like,
Yes.
that's why I think it's so fascinating to have somebody like your father in the industry to be able to lean on. And like, maybe that wasn't your original career path
Right.
or thought, but then when you look back, you're like, what was I thinking?
Yes.
I had all of this right in front of me to be able to take advantage of.
Yep.
And there's still some people out there that don't do real estate, and their parents are incredibly successful, and their parents are like, why are you not taking advantage of this? You
Yeah.
know? Like, so good for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got two sisters that didn't.
Yeah. We're like, good for you guys.
Well, you
There's
guys
no
have four?
desire.
Yeah.
My gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
My gosh.
Older sister and then younger sister.
Okay.
We're the two middle ones.
Yep.
Interesting. So where did they end up? What path did they pursue?
Oldest is a flight attendant.
Okay.
She's
Sweet.
traveled the world.
Oh, that's
She lives in Cleveland though.
Dude, I'm from Cleveland.
And then
Origins of Cincinnati, but
we won't hold it against you.
we got elder blood.
Yeah. The youngest has been in nursing, hospice care. She is definitely the caretaker of the family.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
She used to cook for us older ones.
Really?
So yeah, she's definitely the very calm one.
Right.
Interesting. That's pretty fun. It's wild to see the different paths. One group raised by the same people can go on, and everybody's just so different.
Oh, 100%. So it's when we all get together, it's crazy.
It's crazy, yes.
We're called the Cagney Zoo.
Yeah.
You guys have a massive family.
Yeah, because we're very close with our extended family, and it's just, we all lived, we could walk to each other's houses, even grandma and grandpa lived down the street, so just very close.
Yeah.
That's fun.
It's very cool. Well, then the thought process, immediately, it's all right, the generation that followed the generation, and what about your guys' the next generation? Are there any children interested? Yours are younger, yours are becoming of age to really be diving into something like that. What do you think?
I don't know.
I think so. My oldest is an esthetician already.
Okay.
My middle, she's gonna run something. She's
just a boss.
She's
Yes.
just a boss.
Yes.
My youngest will be the mayor.
Nice.
He could definitely go into this business.
Yes, Finley could, yes.
I could definitely see that.
That's awesome.
We just laugh because everyone's like, "Oh, Finley, I love him." I'm like,
awesome.
"Yeah."
Liam, I don't know yet.
Really?
He used to want to be an electrical engineer, then he wanted to be a police officer, and then one time he did say, "I want to sell houses like you."
That's awesome.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
And Finley and Liam are best friends.
Very cool.
So
Oh yeah.
Very cool.
those two crack me up.
Yeah.
So who knows with them?
They both should join us.
I gotta ask do you have a question? Okay, I always ask this to everybody I meet. That's family or couples or anything like that. It's day in and day out, you guys. I'm sure the families don't get together like a husband and wife type of family who see each other every night. But is there ever a time where it's all right, just get away from me. I need my space. We've been together for the last 2 days doing all this work together. I'm good. Just give me some space. Or is it you guys always gotten along
She's
really
one
well?
of my best friends. So,
Yeah.
and then to be able to I literally talk to my dad every day.
Yeah.
And to me, no, you may think different, but
I mean, because we don't sit in the office together
Right.
where it's
I mean, we talk every day.
talk every day, but he has his deals, I have my
Yep.
deals. We work on more listings together,
Sure.
but it's not like you're
Yeah.
intertwined with
Right.
that
Sure.
so
Sure.
much. So it's
Yeah.
more we aggravate each other.
Yes,
We love that.
we
Sibling
push each
rivalries
other
and all
too
that.
at
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
time.
So-
Motivation.
Patrick's a little OCD with things.
Yep.
And when we go look at a house, he's got to do a certain path as we walk through the house.
really?
So,
that's how I write it on my paper.
so I'm like, if we're halfway through the first floor, I'll be like, "Why don't we go downstairs?" And Patrick goes, and I'm like,
I'll give her the look like,
Yeah.
no,
That's not what we're doing here.
I'm writing the notes.
Yeah.
No.
stuff like that all the time.
awesome.
Or our videos,
Oh,
always
Yeah.
aggravating him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Recently we were doing a pretty nice house and he wanted to get it right and he couldn't.
I kept screwing up, and yeah, she just opened the door and was like, "Welcome to Patrick's blooper reel."
Got him to forget about it.
Yeah, there you go. That's awesome.
But I feel though, our whole motto is if you're not having fun, you're doing the wrong thing.
Sure.
It's and people don't realize, it's a very stressful job.
Yeah.
We deal with a lot of people. These are the biggest investments of their life. So the pressure's on yourself. Pressure, it's intense. So when we can make it fun, we 100% do.
Yeah,
so
That's awesome. That's awesome.
that's why you see us in our social media with
You guys are crushing it. Yeah,
St.
that's
Patrick's
awesome.
Day. I mean, we wear the craziest stuff, and people are like, "What are you guys doing?"
Well, I love how your dad is still involved in
Oh,
that
yeah.
too, because you can see that you guys are kind of the brainchilds of it. And that he's just like, "Yep,
Oh, he's
okay, let's
all
go."
about it.
He is all about
Is
it.
he really?
Oh my gosh, Maura.
That's
I mean, Maura's
phenomenal.
the brainchild of our
Yeah.
social media. She's amazing with that. But yeah, oh my dad, he eats it up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she'll be like,
What
all
we
right,
wearing? What we doing? I thought about doing this too.
Well, you guys have the awesome St. Patrick's Day suits.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
like, you have the whole get up.
Christmas suits.
It's
and,
phenomenal.
yeah.
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 It's great.
So
I always got to find stuff because they can get
Yeah.
these suits, and I'm like,
It's so easy for the guy.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, I got some new stuff for this year.
There it is. There it is.
no competition here
Yep.
at all.
We'll find. Y'all start looking too.
Yeah.
Team Maura.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever.
We'll get her back. We'll get her back. We got to get you to that level.
Yeah.
Look at this suit.
One day you'll get on my level.
Not what I meant. Not what I meant. Just the suit level.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
yeah.
what do you got, Dan?
Well, I mean,
Daniel?
I feel like
Daniel?
we've gotten to know you guys a little bit, which is awesome. So, I mean, naturally, I kind of am curious. So, you know, from getting into the business and that shadowing time that you got to have with your dad, walk us through kind of the next few years of your journey and maybe beyond to like how you got to where you are today.
I feel like he started us out as more buyer
Yes.
side, so that like he was at a point in his career, he's like, I
don't
need
have
help.
time, yeah.
I don't have time to do it all. So we initially focused on the buyer side. We were running,
Yep.
like, so during the day, I mean, we were in the office 8 to 5, helping like prep files for listings. So he was teaching
I mean,
us.
that,
with
and that was back in the day when I think we had like 40 listings.
Yeah.
Like things
At
weren't
a
selling
time.
like crazy.
Things
like
were-
we would
it
have
was
40
crazy.
listings at one time.
Yes.
Like,
Wild.
So like we were doing a lot of office stuff during the day, which is why like really I feel like I can enter a listing. I can do all the office things too in case I ever need to. But then like at night we were running with buyers. That was our first couple years.
That was back in the day when you'd be running at 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at
didn't
night
have dot
because there was
loop and
no
all
dot
that.
loop.
Yeah.
Like it'd be like, oh, do you have a fax machine? I can fax you
Fax,
this.
yeah.
But
It's so wild because you guys are so young, and to think that you had to go through all of that too. Like
Yeah.
those stories are typically from, no offense to your dad, but the older
Right.
real estate agent. You know that you see that with.
so yeah, it'd be 11 o'clock at night. I got to go get this
Yeah, you
contract
would
signed
Yeah.
because that's one thing. Like when people say yes,
You
you go.
Yeah.
You know, you get
learn,
it signed.
I'll get it tomorrow. You don't.
People
do
sleep
that.
on it and they'll change their mind, or somebody will talk in their ear and be like, "Oh, what are you doing?"
Right.
But yeah, once they're good and they're excited, that's when you go.
Yeah, so we started out with buyers for a couple years, and then honestly, like listings are a whole nother beast. So like I felt that helped build our confidence with really knowing the pricing when
Right.
you're working with the buyers. And then we slowly started, first of all, seeing our buyers starting to sell.
Yes.
And then kind of walking into my dad's listing appointments, and we weren't just standing there anymore.
Yeah.
It was
No.
us slowly having, and my dad's like, actually, they knew more than me at
Yeah.
this point.
Yeah.
Because we were just so in the field
Right.
at that point. So slowly moved into listings as well. And now really, we're typically 50-50 with where we end up. This past year, we
We-
were super listing heavy.
Right.
Really.
It was 108 listings in a year. But typically we're a little more balanced.
Yeah, usually we're like 50-50 on buyer sides and listing side.
Yeah. But now, I mean, gosh, I'm like, where do we even begin with? It's hard to explain our chaos sometimes with, how do you keep it going? We're very involved with our communities, very involved with our kids.
Yes.
And honestly, I'm not the type to force real estate, and I don't think any of us are. Like,
Well, that's the one other thing Dad always taught us is if you get to a point in your career where you're pressuring people to buy, get out of the business.
yeah.
Yeah.
It should-
Because, I mean, you're not selling a house. You're selling a dream you're selling, I mean, if somebody doesn't come into a house and say, oh my gosh, like, you shouldn't push it on them. You're not selling it for a check.
No. I mean, we never know what we're making. When we meet with all of our coaches and they're like, so you guys are here, we're like, we have no clue. We don't want that pressure. When they try to set goals with us, we're like, you're not getting them out of us. We have like personal goals of, I want to get better at this. I want to, but I don't ever want a number goal.
There was one year where I got very, very number oriented.
They gave us a goal.
They gave me, and we hit it, but I feel like my customer service level went down, and just because, I was so focused on selling 200 houses that I feel like some of my service levels went down. So I don't want that pressure, and I just want to give my clients the best possible.
But I thought that was the coolest thing at the end of the year. He's like, we hit the goal, but I'll never do that again, and I'm going to do better next year. So that's for us, like, we're always in the top whatever, and that's great because we're competitive people, but it's never about that. We literally do well because we're in it for the right reason.
Well, I think you guys have established the relational aspect of real estate very, very well, with your client appreciation, and then like the St. Patrick's Day giveaways and stuff like that. Like today we're giving away a gift card, first one to do this, blah, 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 we'll announce your name. Like that keeps your audience engaged. And I love the fact that your repeat and referral business is probably massive. And then people are seeing that and they're like, love that group, love the Cagneys, and it's like another great touch for you guys, and it's like a free marketing tool with Facebook and Instagram and all that. So like, I don't know, I think you guys just do it the right way, and to be that relational aspect and not the transactional aspect is key in this industry. I feel like people want to understand who they're working with and trust them. So to be that type of agent is essential. So
well, I mean, we love what we do.
I
mean, where are you going to find a job where, first of all, I love decorating and design, and so like every day, I don't care what house I'm walking into, I can find something new. My husband loves it.
I bet.
Oh my God.
Look what I got.
Look what I saw today.
Can we do this at our house?
But I mean, it's just never the same. You're always meeting new people.
Every day's a new adventure in real estate. That's what I always say.
Oh my gosh. Sometimes it's interesting.
It's not the best adventure.
It's an adventure.
It's an adventure to say the least. That's great.
But for us, we've always said, you'll find us sell anything. I mean, you'll find us sell a $5,000 lot, $1 million listings, and we could care less. I've had that $5,000 lot turn into 6 deals. They want, sometimes it's a test, I almost feel like. Let me see how she's going to handle this. And once you build that relationship, they're like, oh, by the way, I had this the whole time, and I just wanted to see how you did with something that small. I'm like, I don't care. I'm happy with that lot.
I'm happy with the 5,000 sale.
If
you don't like me, I'll refer you to a great agent. His name is Patrick. I'm just kidding.
That's awesome.
But no, I mean, I feel like working with the three of us together, we also read clients as well. And you can if I may walk in thinking it's my client, and then I'm like, you're taking this over. You really have to pay attention to your client throughout the process, But I'm okay with that. Like, Patrick, you're vibing with them. I feel like this is a better fit. Or like my dad will call, hey, Maura, they really need your advice on staging the house. And then we build a bond there. And then I take it over when really he was going to. So that I love, just because we know each other so well, and we really pick up on clients and listen to them. Always ask what their job is. Because then you know their personality.
I'm an engineer.
Let me just go through everything.
We are very organized.
Yes.
We're going to get you the closing
A to Z.
documents 2 days before so you can
Exactly.
read everything.
Yes. Or a salesperson, I'm like, Patrick will talk way quicker.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Patrick will nudge me like, stop talking.
There was a couple times we left appointments. I'm like, Maura, oh my gosh.
It's like, what? I thought it did really good.
That's great. Where do you guys see like the future? Like, doing it, your dad 40 plus years, you guys are 20 plus years. There's obviously no end in sight, but like, is there possibilities to grow more? I know that Mark coming on has
Yeah.
been an attribute to
He's
you
been
guys.
great. I love Mark. And
Yeah,
Stephanie's
he's been
come
doing it a
too.
long time.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mark's
cool.
been over 40 years.
Yeah, he'll be
Really?
45 this year.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, last year we made the big change from the Cagney family to the Cagney Group.
Yep.
And it is our goal to grow, but we're going to be pretty particular because we feel like we want who's representing our team to have the same passion, knowledge, etc. So we're not just going to throw anybody on our team.
Yeah,
Right.
We want to make sure they're in good hands.
and they got to be Irish.
I mean,
Mark got lucky.
we're not holding it against Mark, but I can't wait for his first St. Patrick's Day.
He's gonna love it. He's gonna
Yeah,
love it.
we were just discussing it yesterday,
Yep.
and I'm like, I can't wait to buy you some clothes, Mark.
Oh boy.
He's like, oh, is it
Oh,
going to
no.
have red in it?
No, it's not.
No, sir.
What did you call him? Marco Velis
Oh, yeah.
for the month of.
For the month of March,
For the month of
you're the
March.
Oviluses.
That's perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that is a goal, and we're been working on doing a lot of different changes to our business model. It's not going to happen overnight, but this year we're slowly trying to. We're very paper oriented.
Yes. That's learning the old school. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're trying to put different system. I mean, this is going to drive a lot of people listening crazy. We don't have systems.
no.
We literally wing it all. We're very like notebooks of leads,
Yeah.
and because this is how we were taught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so now it's like we're trying to. We're like, imagine if we had systems in place,
Yeah.
like where we'd be with all this stuff.
See, if we had a CRM.
So we're slowly converting all that, and that's where we're like, yeah, we're probably going to need some help because we're going to be more on top of our leads. We're very like, it's all off of referrals and whatnot. So when we get leads, it's almost weird feeling for
Yeah,
us.
right.
So yeah, we're working on that, and it's a process.
Sure. I get it. I think everybody gets it. Like that is not an easy challenge for sure.
But I mean, we're pretty good with our memory, I feel like,
Right.
because listings, we'll hear about listings, we'll be like, oh, remember we talked to them last year? I think that would actually work for them.
Remember that one person we went
That's
to?
what we do. You know that one person, with the curly hair?
Yeah.
They lived, I remember the house, but I don't remember the name. Let's look them up.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I know. So that will drive a lot of people crazy
Yeah.
hearing
Yeah.
that. But a lot of people who know us laugh at the fact of that we're that way. And there's some other top agents within Coldwell Banker around my dad's age that are very similar, so we can all relate.
Yeah, that would not work well for me because my memory is not great.
Yeah.
It is with real estate. Now,
Yeah.
other things in life, I'm like,
Yeah. Practice today? God.
Well, that's true. See, I'm a car guy, and I can remember what
See?
car everybody drives. I mean, I don't remember their name, but I'll remember the car.
And I remember the house. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
shoot, what was their name?
Yep.
Remember on Beach Meadow when I sold that house to them?
Yeah. Yep. I think all three of us are the same way.
Yeah.
Like, I remember every house.
Yeah.
But names, I need to get better at names.
Yeah.
Too funny.
I'm like surprisingly terrible with names, except if you're in real estate. For some reason, I know everybody's name, and I run into them outside, and I'm like, "Oh, hey, Patrick. Hey, Maura. Like, how's everything going?"
Yeah.
It's like it just, and my wife's like, "How did you know their name? You don't even know your kids' names." I'm like, Like I called one kid the other day, but
through all the
like, how
names.
do you do this? I'm like, I don't know. It's just so wild. So
It's your passion.
so
That's hilarious. Well, we want to ask you guys for some advice, but before we do, we always like to just give a quick shout out to Back to Back for letting us use this awesome studio here. Back to Back Ministries is a global nonprofit orphan care organization with their sights set on providing care for today and hope for every tomorrow. From Cincinnati, Ohio to Hyderabad, India, staff teams around the world are stepping into hard stories and choosing to stay. To learn more about the work Back to Back does, how you can get involved, and why a global team won't stop until every child is known and loved, you can visit backtoback.org today. Super grateful to Back to Back for letting us use this
Yes.
space.
Yes.
yeah, they're great.
But with that said, what kind of advice would you like to share? We can start with buyers and sellers if you want, or one or the other.
Yesterday.
What?
If we're talking current market,
Yeah.
how not to wait.
Oh gosh, yeah. No, I mean, you talk to potential buyers or sellers right now, and they're like, "Oh, I'm going to wait till rates drop," or "I'm going to wait, until there's more houses on the market." My advice to them would be, don't wait. You can, everything we're seeing is prices aren't going to come down, and inventory's not going to shoot up. So, my advice is if you find a house you like, move on it.
Yeah.
You can't, if you sit and wait, prices are just going to keep going up. So, you sit there and wait, and your house you like is just going to go higher price.
Well, and it's like, what if the people in 2018, 2019, all those people who bought right now, we're looking at, we're going back to them saying, did you know what the value of your house is right now? One of my clients in Mason, $300,000 in equity.
Jeez.
So, why are you waiting?
Yeah.
Why, if you rent, you're not building any wealth.
Yeah.
Just start, just get in there, and if you're comfortable with the payment and you can do it, you're building wealth you're not even thinking about. So just do it. And all you got to do, the first step's the hardest. Our buyers come in so nervous, especially those first time homers. I am so overwhelmed. And really, I try not, a lot of people are like, throw all this information at buyer consultations. And I'm like, let's just do a couple basic things and really, let's go look at a house.
Yeah.
And as you're going to learn as we're walking through a house, we don't just open the door and say, here you go, have at it. We're walking through, well, what do you like? I just want to listen to you, talk to me as you walk through. And tell me about the beautiful things, but then I'm going to teach you about
that's a
the
Federal
house.
Pacific box.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
knob and tube wiring. That's
And what's funny is you see their confidence at every house build up. Or when it was crazy and they were losing out on things, they'd in the beginning they'd be like, I don't know, what do I do? And then they call me we're gonna do this and da 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 da, and we're gonna get this house. And I'm like, look at you.
I would back when it was crazy. I'd always say you'd have to lose 2 or 3 offers before they'd really start listening to you.
Yeah, and we get it though. We're never going to pressure you because this is all new. I do it every day.
Yep.
Right.
I can tell. I know what it's going to take, but I know you're not there yet.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, there I go, getting off subject. I don't know how
You
we
squirrel?
got here.
I know, right?
But yeah,
We never
don't
squirrel.
wait because of what I initially said.
Perfect.
But yeah, so and the same goes for sellers. A lot of people don't realize a lot of our listings, we've been working on them for a year or so. So we'll get a lot of calls we're just curious on our value, we're thinking about buying, but we're not quite sure yet. So we'll go over and meet with them and just say, you know what, let's just start looking. It never hurts for us to know what you're looking for, because a lot of times they're going to get a call saying, guess what, I
I just found her house. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not on the market yet, but I can get you through.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
when we're talking about waiting, don't wait to make the phone call to us.
Sure.
Just put it on our radar. We're happy to come over. There's never an obligation.
Yep.
But then you'll at least have an idea of, okay, this is kind of what my house is worth. And if it's out there, I'll probably get a call.
Yeah, exactly. Are you guys still seeing the market? I know it's shifted over the last few years, but you're still looking at it as very much a seller's market.
It's
shifting.
It's shifting. I still see values strong, but it's not crazy. And we say price is super important.
I mean, the ones that are priced right, you're seeing still, you could get multiples. It's not 20 of them.
Sure.
But yeah, you are still seeing multiple offers out there, 100%. Yes.
That's great.
Yeah, but we're like really honing in on the right price with our sellers because, I mean, I'll try your price.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you, here's what's going to happen.
Right.
And that's actually going to hurt your bottom line. So buyers are very educated nowadays. They can access a lot of information and they know what the right price is. And since there isn't that crazy pressure and bidding war, they can take their time and really think things through.
Yeah.
Even though there isn't high inventory, they're okay waiting.
Yeah.
Whereas
That's
before
great.
they weren't.
Yeah. It makes it easier.
Yeah.
For them, as far as stress, I guess. But
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're a little bit more patient, but we're still low inventory.
Right.
So, like we said, with sellers right now, they're still getting a good price. And it's actually when you turn into the buyer, then you don't feel as much, oh my gosh, as much pressure as we did the last couple of years.
Wow. That's great advice.
Yep.
I like it.
Would you like to offer advice to agents?
I feel like we gave a lot of good advice.
I mean, honestly, like a new agent, get a good mentor is my advice.
I agree.
It's a big, scary real estate world out there with a lot of strong personalities. And that mentor is not only going to teach you about real estate, but everything else that comes along with it.
Yeah.
Because you are dealing with a lot of
Strong personalities.
that will try to intimidate you. And, you if you have the knowledge, you'll do just fine.
Make sure you actually read a purchase contract.
Yes, and understand
and a listing contract and understand it, because there's been so many times I've dealt with agents that say something and I'm like, have you ever actually read the contract? Because you're wrong.
Right. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's become very lengthy, and it's actually the last couple years become a little more seller friendly, so it protects them a little bit more in inspections, and a lot of agents don't realize that. And I'm like, did you read the contract? You really can't ask for that.
Yeah.
So really just educating yourself, not trying to sell 1 million homes right away, but really trying to learn
Yeah.
so that long term you'll become a better agent.
That's great.
Good stuff. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we wrap up?
Nothing I can think of.
No, I mean, really just we have fun, and that's another piece of advice don't have this pressure on yourself to become the best agent in Cincinnati right away. Just become the best agent for that first client.
Yeah.
If you give them a good experience, they're going to walk away and go tell someone else.
Yeah.
Make good connections. Make other agents your friends. It's, even though it's a competition, but we have so many friends in real estate, and it's a people business.
Yeah. Collaboration has really taken over.
Yeah.
It's amazing how those relationships matter. So it's great.
And learn social media.
There you go.
Because it's that.
Gosh,
we don't know what we're doing half the time, but you know what? It's like, just roll with it.
It's fun, yeah.
Put yourself out there.
Oh yeah, some of the stuff Maura makes me do.
Brings me joy. And I'm like, and today we're going to TikTok this. And he's like, I'm not doing that. He walks away so mad. He comes back, fine, I'm doing it. I'm like, I knew you'd have FOMO.
Yeah. He said, he'll be back.
Give me a minute to run it through my head. The funny thing you're going to make me do to embarrass myself.
That's awesome. I love it.
But yeah,
well, thank you guys for being on, and thank you for leading the way. I know it's very cliche to say that, but reputable agents make a big difference in any market. So the fact that you guys have a great reputation around town and you're doing real estate the right way is really empowering. So thank you guys for
thank you. We
being here and
appreciate it.
everything. So absolutely. All right.